This month, I'm no longer apologizing for who I am, for needing space, being quiet, saying no, or choosing me. If you're on a journey of healing, growing, or just trying to stop shrinking yourself for others, this video is for you. As you can see by the state of my apartment, it was only right to clean up my space before I do anything productive. Whenever I feel stuck or anxious, I start with cleaning. It gives me a little control back. I just know that my day is going to be so much easier and feel so much better knowing that I have a clean space to work with. Your environment is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, contributor to your mindset and how you feel on a day-to-day basis. When you have visual clutter, it reflects back onto your mindset and creates mental clutter as well. Once my environment is clean and my energy is reset, I finally feel ready to start my day. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. My name's Hailey and this video is going to be a hefty one. By the end of this video, you will no longer apologize for growing and evolving. You will understand that being yourself isn't selfish, it's necessary. You will let go of people pleasing and realize that doing so is part of self-love. You will also understand that confidence starts with choosing yourself unapologetically. Okay, so now that I have covered what we are going to be going through in this week's video, let's get straight into it. Okay, now that our space is reset, let's get straight to the point of this video. In this video, we are going to be learning together how to stop apologizing for who we are. There is going to be a lot that will be covered in this video, so go and get a hot beverage or a snack and let's get straight into it. People pleasing, something that everyone struggles with. There are so many different reasons as to why people please, but the core one is definitely the fact that we are scared to show who we are and we are scared to show our true authentic selves. For me personally, anxiety made me a people pleaser. Because of my autism, I was heavily impacted and influenced by my anxiety, and it made me do things and think things that were not relevant to the situation, and therefore it made me scared to share my thoughts and feelings because people might think I'm weird or people might think that something's wrong with me. This is not the case for everyone, but for me personally, my autism made me afraid of being misunderstood because I communicated differently to everyone else. I was worried that if I showed and expressed my true and authentic self, that people would think that I am not right for them or I would lose relationships. But in reality, the only person I need validation from is myself. I need to know my true self before I can put myself in a situation to be judged by another person. I need to know myself to every possible detail before I put myself in a situation to be judged or put myself in social environments where people will judge me for who I am. The only person's opinion that matters is yours, and the people who are right for you will come to you. They will only be an addition to your life rather than making up who you are as a person. You are already completely fulfilled by yourself and content with yourself. Therefore, if someone was to hurt your feelings or judge you for who you are, they won't hurt you. It might sting a little, but it won't hurt you to the point where it would if you were insecure about yourself and you didn't know who you truly were. If you find someone that loves you for who you are, that is amazing, and they are just an addition to your full cup. It is guaranteed that there are going to be times throughout your life where you are going to be in an environment where people are able to judge you. And I don't mean deliberately putting yourself into one of those environments. When I say putting yourself into other environments, I mean unintentionally. You are obviously not going to go into public and be like, yep, I'm ready to be judged. It is guaranteed that that is going to happen because that's just how life works. You have no control over when, where, or how much someone judges you. It is your job to make sure that you are completely fulfilled by yourself. If someone was to judge you, there is going to be no way that it hurts you because you are completely fulfilled by yourself. When someone judges you, you will be able to brush it off your shoulder like it is nothing and look at them like they need to do work on themselves rather than the other way around. You are already completely happy with yourself and they are just another opinion that you can brush off your shoulder. In addition to this, it is so important to set boundaries for yourself. Doing this is a form of self-care and it should not be something that you are scared of. This is something that I'm still working on, and it is difficult. I'm going to be completely honest. It is a difficult thing to do because you are worried about losing relationships. But if someone really cared about you, they will understand that boundaries are something that every person should have. You need to have boundaries in place in order to respect yourself, protect your peace, and ensure that no one is overstepping where they shouldn't be. It is all for your benefit and they should understand that. Not only this, but they should have their own boundaries because it shows that they are a strong person and they understand that they deserve boundaries as well. You should not be worried about losing people over doing this because that is is not a real friendship or relationship. If this is the case, you need to reflect on your current relationship with this person and decipher whether or not it is worth your time. In summary to all of this, I've learned that the right people don't make you beg for space to be yourself. When you are around the right people like family or friends, you are able to be your most authentic, joyful, amazing, crazy self, and they won't think anything of it. And that is something you need to understand. It is so substantial to know that you are the person that provides your own validation, and other people are just additional elements to your life because you are already completely full. Losing someone hurts, but you need to reflect on whether or not it is beneficial to yourself and beneficial to your life and your mental health and your mindset. So in hindsight, you need to surround yourself with the right people and practice the right rituals and self-care strategies in order to be completely fulfilled by yourself.
All I ever wanted is you.
Good morning, my lovelies. It is currently 8:53 a.m. I woke up early. You know how long it has taken me to train my sleep schedule to get up early? I think I succeeded. I'm so happy. I feel like I have years ahead of me in the day, and I've already gotten so much done. I brushed my teeth, cleaned my retainer, I made my bed, I'm about to make my green tea, put a candle on, put my projector on, work out, get schoolwork done. Today is a day of renewal, and yeah, I'm just so excited. Somebody's telling me that today is an important day. I do know today that we are also building packing boxes and then cleaning out all of like the tubs that we've packed, just to make sure that we are optimizing the amount of things that we're bringing. But yeah, it's getting so much closer and I'm so excited. But I'm just going to go ahead, make my green tea, get dressed, stretch. I also ordered a Hatch alarm clock. I've been wanting one for like a year now. I'm so excited. She's so cute, and not only does it help you wake up seamlessly, but it helps you go to sleep seamlessly. And I'm just so excited to use it because I cannot rely on my phone anymore, because sometimes I don't think it's me sleeping through my alarm. I think it's just my alarm not going off, because I always, when I tell you always, I always wake up to my alarm. So over the past maybe 2 years, my alarm just hasn't been reliable, and I need to optimize my sleep because of my autism. So I really hope this is worth the hype, and I'm just so excited to try it out. So I'll take you guys through setting up the Hatch alarm clock, and I'll show you guys how it is telling me to go to sleep, and then I'll show you guys how it wakes me up in the morning. I'm just so excited. But yeah, I'm going to stop yapping now and let's get straight into the day. You guys don't know this about me, but ever since I was younger, I have done therapy. I have been through multiple therapists, and overall I've done years and years of on and off therapy. It has helped me to get things off my chest. That is the best possible purpose for therapy, in my opinion. When it comes to sharing your feelings, getting things off your shoulders, getting a second professional perspective, I think that that's a really great way to help you heal. I've known people my whole life that have continued to bottle up all of their feelings and wounds and scars and suppress them. But what they don't know is that the more you suppress those wounds and feelings, etc., they will actually come and bite you back harder later in your life. So each time it comes and hits you again, it will hit harder each time, and therefore you will fall harder. And that is why, though I don't have that much of a positive outlook on my personal experience with therapy, I will never ever say don't go if you need to share your feelings. And if you don't have someone to share those feelings with, therapy is a great option. In summary to that, you can't suppress wounds forever, and you can't heal to your very best without addressing the problem directly. You can't suppress, and you can't ignore, and you can't brush it off your shoulder, because it is something that you need to go through in order to heal to your full capacity. My whole life, I have seen people break under what they refuse to face. I have seen them worsen in their condition. I've seen them gain a more negative outlook on life, and I definitely saw them hurt the people around them, including me. That is something that is so important to remember, that not only do your actions affect you, but they affect the people you love and the people you hang around on a daily basis. Once your issues get to a certain point, they will start radiating off of you, and your moods will change, your actions will change, and you will start treating the people around you not as they should be treated, if that makes sense. Healing taught me that the only way out is through, and that I'm stronger than I thought. I used to think that all the things I bottled up inside me were scary and unbearable, but when I said that first sentence to my mum and got the first little sentence out to start the conversation, it changed my life, and I have never stopped talking about my feelings. I've always been very outspoken, and I've never suppressed feelings. If I had trouble at school, if I had trouble in any area of my life, I always said something, and I think that's a part of being autistic. You can't not say something, and I've just always been that person to release my feelings and get them off my chest to get a second opinion or to get comfort or some sort of validation. Ever since saying that one sentence, I have been a different person. Mind you, that situation had bothered me for years and years and years, and I thought it was just this crazy thing, and it wasn't. So trust me, if you think that your issue is overbearing, overwhelming, it is, but it isn't scary and it isn't unreachable. Trust me, once you start talking and you get that first sentence out, you will never stop talking. And trust me, it changed my life. I have never been the same person since, and I will always not only do it myself, but advocate for people to speak their mind and talk to others about the things that have been bothering them. I am currently going through that transition from my teenage years into womanhood, and the most significant thing that I have learned is that teen years consist of constant self-discovery. Throughout all of your teenage years, you are going through a constant development and shift, and it is just a very awkward stage of your life. When I first entered my teenage years, I was like, okay, this is not what I pictured teenage years to be like. I thought it was going to be like all the movies I saw when I was younger, but it is so much more concise and intricate, and there are so many factors that contribute to the hardships of being a teenager, and it, in all honesty, sucks. And I am so glad that I am finally exiting my teenage years, because it was honestly a very hard time for me, and I'm only just seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. I honestly wish that I had someone give me a complete blueprint of what being a teenager is like. I knew that obviously it is a stage of development, but I didn't understand the mental toll it would take on you to be a teenager. Everyone says to enjoy your teenage years, but in complete honesty, I disagree with that. I think that you should be enjoying your 20s, 30s, 40s, etc., but your teenage years are going to be the hardest years of your life, and I wish someone told me that, because I thought that I was meant to have everything figured out. I thought that everything was going to be chill and smooth, but it wasn't. It was so much more complex than that, and so much more difficult. And so don't let yourself believe that teenage years are meant to be all of this fun and excitement, because it's not. Teenage years are meant to be a time of development, and your 20s, 30s, 40s, etc. are meant to be your years of fun. Okay, sorry to interrupt the video, but as I told you guys yesterday, I ordered the Hatch alarm clock. I am so excited. You guys have no idea how much I love this alarm clock. I remember seeing it on this one girl's YouTube channel. When I saw that, I'm like, I need it. It plays this like sensual, like meditation, relaxing music, and then it also wakes you up with a sunrise and sends you to bed with a light system. And I'm like, okay, this is what I need. I've been wanting this thing for like a year, and my phone has just not been reliable. Like, some of my alarms just don't go off, and I set like 20, and that's a lot of alarms, and I only hear one of them go off, and I know for a fact that I do not sleep through 20 alarms. So there's something wrong there, and I don't want to have to rely on it if the following day I have something on it that's really important that I can't miss. So I made the investment. I'm going to be using this for the rest of my life. This was also kind of an impulse buy, but I knew that it is something that I am going to be using for a very long time, so it was worth the money. I am just so excited to use it, and it is also for my well-being and my sleep, because you guys know that if I don't have optimal sleep, I do not have a good day. I'm very grumpy, very mad, very emotionally all over the place during the day if I do not have a good sleep. So I'm just so excited to open this up. I can't talk for any longer, otherwise I'm going to combust. So let's get straight into opening this. There will 100% be times throughout your teenage years where it is literally going to be the best days of your life, but majority of the time, from my experience personally, it is just full of stages of development, and it is a difficult time. I'm not saying that teenage years are absolutely terrible. I really loved my teenage years, but I definitely went through a bit of stuff. But what I'm trying to say is that though it can be so much fun, you also need to remember that teenage years are for development. That is something that I wish someone had told me, because I thought that it was just going to be rainbows and unicorns, but it wasn't. And there are going to be hard times alongside the good times, just like everything else in life. So if you are a younger viewer watching this video and you are just entering your teenage years, or you have just made it to the peak of your teenage years, trust me, as long as you stick to productive strategies, productive practices, and ensuring that you are optimizing your mental health and understanding yourself and prioritizing learning more about yourself, because that's what teenage years are all about, is learning about yourself and who you are truly going to be in the future and who you are truly now. And I promise you that if you stick with all of these things that I'm telling you, you will make it out, okay? I promise that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Take it from someone who has experienced all of this hardship throughout my teenage years, like getting diagnosed with autism, going through anxiety, friendships, and friendship breakups. It is a hard stage of your life, and trust me, there is going to be an end to it. There is going to be a positive outcome, and I promise you that if you stick with structured routines and learning about yourself and talking to people about it, you will make it out absolutely fine. No matter how much you and I hate change in certain stages of our life, change is awkward, but it is necessary. I'm honestly someone who has a love-hate relationship with change. Sometimes it's absolutely fine, but other times it gives me anxiety. I get overwhelmed, overstimulated, and it's kind of ironic because teenage years are completely filled with change, and that is the whole point of your teenage years. But I promise you, there will be a good outcome. Stay true to yourself. Give yourself some leniency, because I have been so hard on myself throughout my teenage years, and I haven't given myself a long leash to be able to fluctuate and change in the things I do in my life. You are not too much for changing, okay? You're just growing into who you're meant to be, and that is absolutely normal. And there is nothing wrong with changing who you want to be, or changing what you like to wear, what you like to do, how you like to do things throughout your day. I promise you, it is all completely normal, and you are doing everything absolutely right. This is your reminder, you don't need to apologize for evolving, for growing, healing, or walking away. Confidence starts when you choose you. Subscribe if you're in your healing girl era, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!